Hello, sweet friend, and welcome. If this week has felt long, I'm especially glad you're here. Let's take a quiet breath together. Not because we have to fix anything, but because this is a place where you don't have to keep holding everything up. Imagine we have just settled into two comfortable chairs. Our coffee is warm. The week is beginning to soften around the edges. And for just a little while, there is nowhere else you need to be. As I was as I was cleaning my home this week, I found myself carrying something from one room to another. At first I thought, I'll just set this down later. Then I picked up something else. And yes, something else. Before long, my hands were so full that I couldn't do the one thing I had originally walked into the room to do. I finally laughed at myself. I have been carrying things that didn't belong where I was going. Isn't that sometimes how our hearts work? We carry someone else's disappointment, someone else's expectation, conversations we replay over and over, guilt that isn't ours anymore, responsibilities that were never ours to begin with. We tell ourselves, I'll put this down later. But later keeps moving until one day we realize our hearts are just tired. I wonder what you've been carrying this week that doesn't actually belong in your hands anymore. Maybe it's trying to keep everyone happy. Maybe it's believing you are responsible for someone else's choices. Maybe it's the pressure to have everything figured out. Or maybe it's simply the belief that you should have handled something differently. My sweet friend, grace has a beautiful way of loosening our grip. Not because what happened didn't matter, but because God never asked us to carry every burden alone. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." I've noticed he didn't say, "Come to me after you've carried it successfully." He simply said, "Come." So before this week comes to an end, I have one small invitation. Find one thing you can physically set down today. Maybe it's a stack of papers, a bag you've been carrying, your phone, for just a few minutes. As you place it down, quietly whisper, "Lord, if this isn't mine to carry, I'm leaving it with you." Sometimes our bodies help our heart believe what is already true. This is why sacred return feels so important to me, because so many women are carrying invisible weight, not because they're doing anything wrong, because they've loved deeply for a very long time. And maybe, just maybe, this can become one place where they are reminded they don't have to carry it all along. So, before we say goodbye, may this weekend bring more rest than striving. May your home become a place where your shoulders finally soften. May your heart recognize the difference between responsibility and burden. And may God gently lift what you've been trying to hold by yourself. You have done enough for this week. Now receive the gift of rest. I want to thank you for sharing these few quiet moments with me today. Wherever this conversation finds you, I hope you will carry one gentle reminder with you. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to carry everything alone. So, until next time, remember, be gentle with your heart. Trust the pace of what is becoming. Keep noticing the ordinary moments where God quietly meets you. And remember, you are safe to arrive here exactly as you are. As always, with love.